Hey, it's Tuxedo Mark. It's 9:45 p.m. on Tuesday, March 23rd, 2021. And I got another package in the mail. Actually, apparently this showed up yesterday, but I didn't notice it until today. Um, anyway, so let's open this up. I checked to see which thing that this is. So this showed up a lot sooner than expected. It was in the same order as my Sailor Moon stuff, but just it was shipped separately. Um, anyway, mm, Angel Cop. What is Angel Cop, you might ask? It's an anime from. I've seen different sources say anywhere between 1989 and 1994. I learned of this a few years ago. It does say 94 here. Okay. Um, it's possible that these episodes were released between 89 and 94. I'm not sure. There's 6 episodes. Total runtime is about 183 minutes. So it's like 3 hours, 3 minutes. So each episode's like a half hour long. Um, okay. So I learned about this from watching the series Anime Abandoned by Bennett the Sage. And so I learned about this a few years ago. Didn't have no idea that this existed. But anyway, I'll link to his review in the description box down below. Um, so anyway, I got this on DVD back when I learned about it. Now I decided to get the Blu-ray. I mean, from what I've read online, the Blu-ray is just an upscale because they use a tape as the source. But I figured, I could get the new DVD or the Blu-ray. I just went with the Blu-ray. No special features as far as I know, but basically this is a cop series, but it's like a small group of like elite super cops that fight terrorism in Japan. Um, as it says on the top here, in a world where the only thing more brutal than crime is law. And here on the front it says, in a nightmare future, violence is the only law. So yeah, basically this is a very bloody, gory anime. It's about cops fighting terrorists. It does get into some supernatural, like fantasy or sci-fi stuff too, kind of. But basically, yeah, this is Angel, or it's her code name anyway. They do give her, she does give her a real name in the first episode. But basically, this group of elite cops, they're basically above the law. They use a whole bunch of violence and they murder people. They use torture, and so there's like blood splattering everywhere, brain splattering. Um, there is a plot kind of sort. Anyway, Angel herself, I was Bennett in his review says that she's in approximately about half the running time of the series, but from what I calculated, it was more like a third. She's in there like from beginning to end pretty much, but she disappears for stretches of time. She's in the closing credits. The closing credits of each episode feature her riding her motorcycle, but and she does give like some episode recaps or previews or something. She narrates those, I think, or at least some of them. But yeah, Angel isn't too present in Angel Cop. um, anyway, I won't read the whole description, but on the bottom it says this brand new release contains the English language dub and the original Japanese audio with unedited English subtitles for the first time. Now, about that, Bennett goes into it in his review, but basically, there's some anti Semitic stuff in the Japanese dialogue. They like they blame like the Jews for being in charge of the overall conspiracy or whatever. Um, when it was dubbed into English, they changed it to Americans, and even the English subtitles said Americans in the original release. Now, this new release, it just tells it as it is. It doesn't try to hide the fact that yeah, this is anti-Semitic, um, and it's been accused of being jingoistic, and you know, basically it's nuts. But the main, obviously, I'll watch the Japanese. Um, I'll watch it subtitled first, and then I'll watch the English dub for each episode as I go. Um, the reason to watch this mostly is for the English dub because it was dubbed in Britain, I believe. Trying to remember which company that I don't remember offhand, but they wanted to go for like a more mature rating. I mean, as if the nudity and the violence wasn't enough. So they like threw in as much cursing as possible. It's like it's like they were like there's a whole bunch of f bombs and there's just it's insane. It's insane. It's kind of ludicrous and over. I mean, the whole thing is over top to begin with, but the English dub is something else. Uh, it's highly entertaining. Um, Try to imagine a bunch of no-name British voice actors doing like East Coast United States accents for characters in an anime that takes place in Japan. Yeah. Yeah. Now, one thing that yeah, it says here on the back 1080p 1.66 by 1 OAR. I'm not sure. Oh, original aspect ratio. Enhanced from SD. So it is an upscale. Um, 6 episodes on one disc. Underrated, yeah. Uh it's got English subtitle track as well as just the science and songs subtitle track. So this 1.66 by 1 aspect ratio, that's highly unusual. From what I saw, um, like watching the original DVD, it's like the aspect ratio. First of all, it was in a full frame feel. It was the standard full frame, old style, almost square image. But there was like black on the top and bottom, so it was a very slight widescreen. It wasn't like a full widescreen for like a 16 by 9 TV or whatever. Or it's not even the most basic widescreen that you'd see in a movie theater. It was just a very, very slight widescreen. It's like, why did they even bother? I'm curious to see how this Blu-ray treats it. Um, like, is the image going to still be a full frame with a little bit of widescreen on my TV, or is the image going to be slightly how are they going to treat it? I'm curious. I'm definitely curious how they're going to do this. Um, apparently two different people wrote the screenplay. Um, one guy wrote the first three episodes, and then the guy who wrote the original story wrote the final three episodes. Um, I think there might have been a manga too. I think I read that somewhere, but I never read it. I think there's a manga. Whether it came before or after the anime, I'm not sure. Um, but yeah, I look forward to watching this just to revisit the insanity that is Angel Cop. Um, on the original DVD release, and I know this only because I noticed it only because, well, it took a while for me to notice it, but then I compared it to some episodes that I saw on YouTube, I guess that were taken from a different source. While the widescreen is very slight, on the original DVD release, for whatever reason, for episode one, they cropped it a bit more to make it look more widescreen, but that means they cut off part of the image to do that. And it was just for the first episode, it wasn't for the remaining episodes. Also, apparently they used transfers from their old VHS release, I think, or they probably didn't use the VHS tapes themselves, but whatever masters that they had used for their VHS release, probably I'm guessing is what they used for the DVD, because you see like the listing of street dates for the next episodes and stuff like that, and they do this week. There was this one. I think in one of the episodes, the next episode preview music bled into the closing credits sequence, and also they did this weird thing where they shoved the animation of Angel riding her motorcycle in the closing credits. They like squeezed it to the top of the screen and put the English credits below it. I'm wondering how this Blu-ray treats all of that, if they've improved on it any compared to the previous release. Um, in particular, I want to know if that extra cropping from episode one is present here, or if the full picture is present. Um, guess I'll find out. um, anyway, so I just wanted to share that, and it's 9:58 p.m. and that's it. Thanks for watching.